Good morning, everyone. Lily here. Thanks for coming to my channel. Lily, Leanne Mazaret. I'm here to talk to you today about enjoying the moment in life and business. The reason that I bring this up is because it's easy to get caught up in the details of things outside of the moment, meaning the future planning, or and conversely bringing the past forward with us. And we can do that sometimes to the detriment of our ability to just be happy with where we are right now at this point in time. The reason that it's important to take stock of where we are at this point in time is because it's important to notice how we feel about where we are at this point in time. And the thing that most people feel when they look at where they are is a sense of lack. They often don't have what they want. They don't have the life they are looking for. They don't have the lover they want. They don't have the job. They don't have the money. They don't have the house. They don't have the time. They don't have the vacations. All this stuff that they want and don't yet have is part of what continues to bring them more of what they don't have. And that sounds a little counterintuitive in the beginning, because you have to think about it for a while. And I liken it to feeding a monster. If there's a bunch of negative things in your life that exist right now, if you continue to think about them instead of thinking about what you want and how to get there, and well, more or less just being happy with the way things are right now until you get there, those are, if you don't do that, then in essence you're feeding the monster other things. You're feeding it your discontent. You're feeding it your impatience. You're feeding it your sense of lack. You're feeding it your frustration, your list taking of all the things that you don't have, or all the injustices that have been done to you. Sometimes we're unhappy about emotional circumstances, things from our past, things from our childhood even, or even things from yesterday or the day before that just continue to circle around in our brains. They circle around at night. They're underneath everything that we say and do. They put us in a bad mood, and thereby we transfer that bad mood onto our family when we get home, or we, the age-old expression, kicking the dog. It's basically taking it out on the innocents around you, whether it's road rage in traffic, or bitching at somebody on the phone, or being impatient that it takes too long to do the things that you want to do, that aren't even related to the thing that you're pissed off about from yesterday or the day before or 5 years ago or whenever it was. And it's not even a sense of anger that you have to be worried about dragging forward with you. Sometimes it's a sense of failure, or a sense of not unworthiness that comes forward. And so you're never happy in the now, no matter how much you achieve or how much you improve. So the whole point is that if you're continually looking for what you don't have, then you'll never be happy about the 20 pounds you've lost because you have 40 more to go or something, or 140 more to go, or 5 more to go. Instead of realizing that maybe it's 95% good and only 5% bad, or maybe it's 98% good and 2% not good. That's what you want to focus on, is that bigger chunk, so that you don't take that negative piece and feed the monster. Now, how do you change your perspective? Because a lot of you, I can hear you already, you're going, well, but my life isn't 98 too. My life is 98 bad and 2% good. And this is what you're programmed to point out, is all the negatives. Maybe you grew up in a really critical household, or maybe you're just accustomed to getting graded, and so it's always a measurement of what you have left done, the answers you got wrong. But when you get a 98% on your tests, that's pretty much A+ work. And even when you get 50% of it right, in a lot of cases, that's a passing grade. And the point is that focus on what is working so that you can have more of it, because it feels good. And now I can also hear people saying right now, well, then I just become mediocre, not working on my faults, or no pain, no gain. That's just the road to mediocrity. And I agree that there is some truth in that, Because if you suddenly say, okay, I'm happy with what is, so therefore I'm never going to strive for anything else, or therefore I'm going to stop working towards those things that I want, then yes, you are on the path to mediocrity and you're settling. But what I'm getting at here is not that you settle for what you have. What I'm getting at is that you accept what you have and that you are comfortable with it. All right? It's not a question of having to worry about why you're not where you are, or why you're not there, going to get there faster. It's a question of just being happy with where you are on your path at any point in time. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. This is exactly where you need to be to make your next step. And when you start a journey, you just start it from wherever you are. If you're going to take a river trip, you know, and you have a place where they put you in the river and a place where they take you out of the river, you don't say to the guide, oh, well, just let me off, you know, 5 minutes from the destination because I want to get there faster. No, the whole point is to have the journey, is to have the ride on the river. And the experience of having the ride is part of what makes life interesting, makes life fun. And that's the part that gives us our contrast to know if we're on the right path. So if things are not feeling good, then maybe we need to change our path, or maybe we need to change our perspective. That's another thing that really we have to address. Because most people will just think, oh, it's someone else's fault. My mate isn't behaving the way I want them to behave, so therefore I'll just leave and find another mate. And that isn't always the answer. Or my job isn't giving me what I want, so I'll just leave and find another job. I mean, that may be the long-term answer for some of your problems or questions or goals. But in the interim, first explore, you know, am I just discontent about everything? Is there always something that I'm focusing on that's not the goodness, something that's about the negativity? So when you work on just being happy with your now, being content with what's happening to you, even if it's challenging, even if it's not the way you imagined it, even if it's slower than you thought it would be, even if it's not as abundant as you wanted it or expected it to be, sometimes you need to start there so you can get to where you want to go. Because you can't get there from there. You can't get abundance from a place of negativity and lack. You can't get self-esteem from a place of self-hatred. You can't get confidence from a place of utter disbelief in your own abilities. So even if it's something you've never done before, you must begin, you must try. But if you don't succeed the first time, you know, you have options. You can either look at the fact that you failed and just stop, or you can look at the fact that you failed and say, I'm going to pick myself up by the bootstraps, I'm just going to keep doing this forever and ever. Or you can look at it and go, maybe I failed because it isn't the right path. There are several responses that you can have, but the most important point is, no matter what response you have going forward, don't bring your past with you as an indicator of your future, and don't spoil your now by focusing on what you want in the future and therefore don't have right now. The best way to get what you want in the future is to imagine the having of it. Think of it, think how good it will feel, remember that feeling, create it, manifest it, believe in it, put it into your wish list of things that you really want, focus on the things that are most important to you, and then be happy with the fact that you're on the road. And measure your progress, you know, as you're getting there. And do that in a positive way, too. It doesn't have to be something that's always negative. Oh, I suck, I'm awful, I'm worthless, I'm not there yet. You can say it in a more gentle way. Hey, things are okay now. I'm trying my best. This is not maybe the best I could be. I could probably do more. But for right now, this is okay. And when I'm ready to do more, I will do more. And then you take the responsibility. Sometimes it will require massive action, not just an attitude adjustment, in order for you to get what you want. Sometimes it will require an investment of time or money or energy to get what you want. But these are things you'll decide as you go. And along the way, just enjoy where you are, enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. That's it for today. Lily out.